Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Atlanta Falcons. This will be taken in at the 1. And it'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They're led out by their 6-foot quarterback. You may have heard of him. From Purdue, it's Drew Brees.
And when you think of Drew Brees, you think of production and you think of competitiveness. That guy competes on every snap, whether he's throwing it, moving around in the pocket, calling plays, you name it, he knows how to rally a team.
Levante David, the Bucs' leading tackler, 6 of the last 7 years in there to make the stop. And these are the guys we're about to see down on the turf in just a moment.
Joe Staley, the left tackle, one of the most respected players in the league, as well as one of the most talented.
95-56, 95-56,
On 2nd and 9, Brees. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. And they find themselves just outside the top 10 in the league against the pass, currently bringing up the number 11 spot.
They'll take that play right there each and every snap because throughout this season, they've given up some big plays. To be able to hold someone to no gain, oh yeah, they'll take that one all game long.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
I can't believe they let you play.
From the gun, it's Brees. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Trey Flowers, he's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory.
Watch the slant.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
Michael Kendricks, the linebacker, there to get him down. All right, let's look at the offense. Devontae Freeman, this is a guy that you wanted to talk about, so take it away.
Brandon, have you seen a running back play with such joy as well as such fury? I love the way he runs the football and attacks defenses.
On 2nd down, it's Williams. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
They run. Devontae Freeman. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
And Falcons fans everywhere excited that Devontae Freeman is back on the field wearing number 24 in the red and black. Remember, he went down in week 2 in 2018 with an injury and didn't return. They're hoping to see the form that led him to 1,000-yard seasons in 2015 and 2016.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the rookie from Vandy, Juwan Williams, with a pick. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
We get a look at what Ertz did receiving-wise last week. 5 catches, 56. Now Breeze lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a 1st down for the Falcons. Freeman again, a 1st down carry. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
52 right here. 52. Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get it.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson, he finds McKinnon, complete. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
Block 52. 52's the line. Alert. I'm coming for you. You mine.
On 3rd down, Wilson. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
Touch 50.
And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Russell Wilson, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now 1st quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they scored in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
And out come the Eagles. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it to the back.
It's a foot race. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Leonard Fournette, 76 yards, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness to it? Just getting there and taking off and going. For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
Bryant's extra point up and good. And they take the lead here at 7-6. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. So that'll back them up 5.
Let's go.
Still 1st down.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. Second and 6, just inside the 30. Back now in Atlanta, second quarter action. The Falcons with the football as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up.
Check pass, check pass.
From the 29, Wilson. He completes it to Julio Jones. First catch for the NFL's leader in receiving yards a year ago, and a 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Back-to-back nice gains, that one for 14 yards and another 1st. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time, because let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
52 is the mic right here, over there, Mike.
This time, Wilson will throw. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. They'll try and throw for him with Wilson. And Ginn's got it. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Ted Ginn. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Falcons have retaken the lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 14 yards there and an Eagle 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. They fake the give. Here's Breeze. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Levante David making his presence felt in the backfield.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. They'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here's Thomas Morstead now. He'll boot it away from about his 35.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, here's your bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. To throw, it's Breeze. He gets it over the middle to Cobb. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. He's such a good route runner, shows it there on third down, very proficient, and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 3rd, and the ball is out. Burkhead lost it. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. The Eagles on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Shotgun now for Breeze. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Levante David.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
One left. Safety's creeping.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. DJ Swearinger, a sack on the safety blitz.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. He's going to air it out for Dorsett, and that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. It's caught, Jones. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, it's Wilson. He will find the rookie from Ole Miss. That's DK Metcalf. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. So an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this going one thing, hit them with something else.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
It's just me and you.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And it's complete. It's Damian Williams. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there and a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open down.
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right?
But he's got a man complete. That goes for a gain of 31. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made, no grounding. The second down run for Burkhead. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Trying for the tight end, Ertz, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
They go play action here on first down, eluding the pressure right. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now this time he'll look to throw. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And finally taken down at the 20-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Wilson will throw again. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for it. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. It is picked up by the Eagles.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
And he's able to get him a small cushion before being taken down at the 5, a gain of 3. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. On 3rd down, Fournette. And nothing but daylight ahead. He's at the 50, 30, the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Leonard Fournette, 96 yards, as his guys are back within a single score. So that's a really big play here in the 4th quarter, and don't look now, they're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead is down to just 1 score. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. 1-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
Flush to his right. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you...
Oh, no, he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own football.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And his kick here is good. And that will make this a 9-point lead. A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
All day, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To try again after the sack. Breeze. DRC, Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie getting in there to break it up.
Very difficult night for the guys on offense. They've got to be looking at each other in the huddle and on the sidelines. How are we going to find some open space to complete a pass and find open room?
And the ball is knocked out. And the Falcons grab it. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
After the sack on 1st down, Wilson complete to Jones. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2. Devontae Freeman is shifting. This doesn't pay off here in short yardage. And the Eagles defense able to hold. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Back to throw, Breeze. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football.
Here we go.
That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Throwing now is Breeze. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Of course, remember, you need a touchdown here and a field goal.
Doesn't matter the order, but they have to get it done and get it done fast.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Out of the shotgun, a give to Burkhead. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. To throw is Breeze. Tried to go draw play out of the gun down here.
Yeah, they tried to spread things out, didn't they? They wanted to move people away from the center of the field, away from the line of scrimmage near the ball, so that the runner could find some space. Unsuccessfully, though. But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people would look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points. It will give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Let's go.
They toss to Freeman. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the 4th. Hard to believe.
Really hard to believe, and now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it?
Yep. This is Freeman. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
65.
Wilson wants to throw it. Flushed out right. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time.
I'm going to run you over. Get up.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Throwing now is Wilson. Forced out to his left. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play. So it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Well, they got the touchdown, but a little risky, even though where they were to run the football in that situation on the final play.
If they give it up somehow, if a turnover is created and they take it back the other way, instead of a comfortable victory that they've got now, they've got a lot of explaining to do about why they tried to run the ball in that situation instead of just taking a knee and icing it.
But thankfully for them, they won't have to do any explaining. Well, partner, even though my phone alarm failed me this morning and I missed our AM workout, we still made it through this thing together, didn't we?
Well, you always know I need extra workouts just to keep up with you, so it doesn't matter. But thanks for sharing a booth, and thanks for being our quarterback.
Yeah, you're the quarterback. Always a pleasure, my friend. So for the Falcons, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.